Hey everybody, itemization here, back with Marvel Heroes, and this time we got Gambit. I got him to 60 and I got to play around with him quite a bit, and unfortunately there's a lot of bugs with him going on, and especially with his range build. I was doing Ace in the Hole, and it still works, but it had lots and lots of problems applying damage. And also, red and black suits were having problems of getting applied. I figured out part of the problem was, they would indicate that when you zoned, they were still up, but what you have to do is you have to turn them off and turn them back on, and then they would reapply appropriately. So that's one little trick to get around that little bug. And sometimes they still don't apply, but 95% of the time, if you turn them on and turn them off after you zone, it will function properly at that point. So this is quite a different approach to Gambit. This is a melee approach to Gambit, and I did a little research to see what people were doing with him, and because I wanted a different take on melee and what people thought about what his melee skills were, seeing how it's been a long time since I played any of his melee stuff. And I found some things, and I found a build that looked pretty cool, and I definitely changed a lot of it and kept some of it. And so this is the build, and I call it Grand Slam because basically my build version of it is focusing on the Grand Slam. And this is the Grand Slam here, and as you can see, it's a wide area effect. It's not actually this big. The first middle circle, not the one with the plus in it, but the one that extends past it. So it's actually the middle circle of all three circles. That applies the physical damage portion of the skill. And that's doing 16 to 24, almost 25,000 damage. That's a lot of damage. The outer circle is applying that energy damage. So it's a two-stage skill. It happens rather quickly enough. The first stage knocks stuff down. The second stage knocks stuff down. It's rather nice, especially if you're getting up close and personal with things. So the first skill we're maximizing is Grand Slam, and we're going to back it up with Bow Beatdown. This is kind of a slower skill. It also makes the enemy take more damage, which is going to support Grand Slam a little bit. This is for should we run out of spirit, should we not burn something down, really high value targets, high hit point targets, where we just may not be able to out damage the hit point value of said targets. We're going to need a fallback position, and that's going to be Bow Beatdown. Seeing how we are going melee, I am going to support it fully as much possible with as much defensive that I can get out of it. So I am maxing Savate Expert. Even though it doesn't seem like it does too much, I'll go into why it's going to do enough for us in a moment when I go over the gear. So I do max Savate Expert, and that gives us a big defense bonus for 8 seconds when you hit with a melee power. And Bow Beatdown and Grand Slam are both melee powers. And of course I'm going to be taking his 52 card pickup. It's every 20 seconds, and it does a lot of damage. It does have a 2-second delay on the cast, but 70 to 106 damage to a moderate sized area is pretty good. And it actually hits outside the area just a little bit, so it's a little bit bigger than what you see. And then I also take Raging Cajun. Of course we would. It does have a 25-second cooldown, and it does last 10 seconds. And what it does is every hit that we have out there, it adds an extra energy damage hit of 2,500 to 3,700 damage. Gives us a boost of attack and movement speed, and a nice little boost of crit rating, and a big boost of dodge rating, which will help us with survivability yet again. And that'll last for 10 seconds of the 25 seconds that we have it up. This is basically going to help us burn Seeing how it's going to work with Grand Slam, we have 2 hits happening every time we use Grand Slam. So we're going to get double that extra energy damage. So we're going to get anywhere from 5 to 7,000 damage extra on the Grand Slam. So we're going to go from 40, possible of extra 40,000 to almost 50,000 damage with it. And I'm maximizing sleight of hand. Again, it's got the projectile evasion chance. It's only 21% even maximized, but it's still 21% chance to dodge that. It's giving us almost 3,000 dodge and a 20% chance to deal a big amount of extra energy damage. And that energy damage, by the way, is an AoE. So it will hit things around there. So 1 out of 5 things that attack us, well, just about 1 out of 5 things that attack us. Well, 1 out of the things that attack us when we dodge will get that applied to us. It's kind of cutesy. It'll happen to bosses every now and then. It's just an added bonus. Really, we want the dodge and projectile evasion. And that's the last thing that I would raise up if you have any kind of point issues. Make sure you have points left over to put 1 point in red suits. I also put 1 point in black suits in case I want to swap around. 1 point in cheat death. I put 1 point in sticky fingers. Why wouldn't I? A little extra rare item find, a little extra credits. Sure. Other key skills to the ability, of course, are going to be good time roll. You got to get out of things. Got to get that immunity. Kinetic control comes free with the first level, and so does Royal Flush. We're going to be using that. Some of the skills I sacrificed was All In and Ace of Spades. They passed on Spot Expert and Sleight of Hand. I didn't. So we are using Royal Flush to apply. I'm going to do it as red suits, just for that extra 128 health per melee hit. Seeing how this is a melee attack Grand Slam, we're using Bow Beatdown, which is a melee attack. That's going to help us out greatly. Now, if we look at it, that's a pretty wide hit. I'm using Royal Flush instead of the Ace of Spades, because Ace of Spades, it will hit once and apply red suits or black suits to that one target, and then it blows up, and it doesn't even apply red or black suits when it blows up again. So you have to keep re-upping it. You don't get the benefit of red or black suits too well. It works fine on bosses, obviously, but when you hit crowds, blues, and stuff, you're not getting that added advantage. 52 card pickup will apply obviously red and black suits to that area. It's a big area. Anything hit by it because it's arranged in an area as well as your signature. And when it blows up, it does huge amounts of damage. Sometimes I just hit both of these at once and really just go nuts. You don't necessarily have to. You can hit one and wait till you hit another pack and use it again as another, because this hits kind of like a truck, and it hits definitely like a truck when you combine it with Raging Cajun. As far as gear goes, the reason why I want that extra defense is because our gear slot 5 is no defense. It's actual damage rating. So that's where we get a little bit squishy. So I'm backing it up with the Savant Master. That's kind of bringing us back to having a gear slot 5 with defense. I also like to build so much I went with an Excalibur for that extra defense. Normally that defense is probably a joke to most characters, but when you're missing that slot 5, it's not as much of a joke. You'll actually get 5 to 9% damage reduction with it, and so it'll actually matter compared to, say, like a tank, which will probably get 1 to 2% damage reduction, and they'll probably laugh. And again, that rank 5 is really where I'm gunning towards, is that 50 life on hit. That's going to work like the Relic of Lemuria, and it's going to work with Grand Slam. It's going to work with the Royal Flush. Think of all the hits that you're getting with Royal Flush as it's piercing everything that it hits. And it does okay damage. Gives you an option to do like Doom Phase 3. You can't get to Doom too easily because of all those cosmic auras floating around them and they won't go away from them, you still have an option to shoot them. So it leaves those open. And that's massive amounts of damage rating to melee power, some crit that goes all around to area, to your ranged, to your summon, your ultimate, that is. So that, you know, it does kind of work around. It works great for this build. Horrible for, obviously, the ranged build. But I like this build a lot. To support it, you want the Doc Ox metal. You want a Power Prism Shard. More radius, the better, obviously, because we're working with area powers. This is ranged, but this is an area power. This actually gets huge with all those area power abilities, even though it's not flagged. Look at the size of an area that this basic power just wails on. So, you know, that's kind of cool. Advanced Super Soldier Serums giving you hit points, hit point regeneration, spirit regeneration, defense. Again, like I said, we're low on defense, so we'll take that defense. And attack speed and movement speed. Seeing how we have no skill that's giving us movement speed, we'll take movement speed where we're getting it. And a Pluvian Superconductor because we have a lot of area power. And an Advanced Crimson Crystal of Cedric because we have a lot of physical damage happening through the melee. We're really trying to buff the Grand Slam there because this is going to be what we're going to use to kill high value targets. And that's basically it. I got lucky with some Cosmic. There's a 50, a 42, a 30 Cosmic I'm actually using because it's just that good. A 30 Jennings rifle. So you can see I got some bad gear, but a decent weapon, so that's helping out, and a decent ring. I'm using the regeneration insignia to back up Wolverine. And because I got a low level Dr. Octopus, I think a Dr. Octopus run is in an order before Baby wakes up. I don't know if you can hear her, she's stirring. So these will be level 53 targets. Yep, there she is. So make sure you put your suits up. And that's what I mean, that even though it's only 1 point in Royal Flush, it's still enough damage to do something. So don't underestimate the power of it. However, it is not going to be your mainstay. That's your mainstay. And then if you hit your Berserk or your Raging Cajun, it's going to do tons of damage. It's going to blow these targets. She's not going to wait. No, she's going to have to wait. We're almost done. As you can see, it just destroys packs. Spirit per kill will help keep it going. You don't need to on this. Boat beatdown. We'll take him down in about 2 hits. It's a pretty wide area effect that we've beefed it up. So if you feel like you're getting low on spirit, I tend to like to burn down to half, especially in boss fights, and then keep half for dangerous things like Doom T4, red kills. You never want to be without spirit. That's usually a death knell for you. Unless you know you can burn them down. So, you know, I just popped Raging Cajun to burn a blue. It wasn't even 2 full hits of that Grand Slam to kill a blue. So, Raging Cajun's down, so I just used the signature to blow him up. Even though he was far away, he still took that damage. He was outside that explosion box. I got a yellow up here, so I'll just pop Raging. Yellow's dying with ease. Then we got Dr. Octopus, hopefully just in time before she really wakes up. So I'll hit him with the range to get that going. I'm going to drop the signature down. Stick them a little bit. I'm going to go to the other side because there's mobs coming. Tag everything. Pop my Raging Cajun. Now I'm going to go to town and just spam the Grand Slam. You look, my life's going up, his life's going down. I killed him in, what, 3.5, 4 seconds maybe? And that's it. It's really that easy. I could talk more and more about this, but obviously the baby's waking up, so I gotta go. So I hope this helped you guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you all later.